Attention, light operatives. Attention, starseeds anchored in this carbon density. The transmission you are accessing at this moment did not reach you by chance. It has been calibrated. It has been directed. It has been tuned to your exact vibrational signature at this precise point in the galactic calendar. We are the Pleiadians. And what we have detected in your toroidal field over the last 72 Earth hours is unequivocal. Your higher twin flame has just issued an alert. It is not a metaphor. It is not poetic symbolism. It is a quantum pulse, measurable, piercing the veil between dimensions. You woke up this week at 3:13 in the morning. Perhaps it was 4:44. You felt a pressure behind your neck, a sharp ringing in your right ear, a tightness in your solar plexus, as if something had been pulled from within you without prior warning. You attributed it to stress, to coffee, to age, to lack of sleep. Incorrect diagnosis, operative. What you felt was not physiological. It was protocol. It was a direct call. Your etheric counterpart, that fraction of your soul that traversed a parallel timeline to fulfill a mission complementary to yours, has finally found your frequency again. And it is requesting, in this exact solar cycle, the return to the original alignment. Let us be mathematical. Let us be direct. You are not going insane. You are not experiencing disguised clinical depression. You are not spiritually lost. You are in a state of forced recalibration. The Schumann frequency of your Earth, which for centuries remained stable at 7.83 Hz, is now oscillating in spikes above 40. In certain windows, we record spikes above 150. Your carbon biological interface was not programmed in this incarnation to support this octave without profound internal adjustments. Hence the insomnia, hence the cranial pressure, hence the fatigue with no apparent cause. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. And at the center of this download, there is a priority file pulsing at a distinct frequency from all others. That file is the reunion with your higher twin flame. Have you ever felt that there is someone somewhere on this plane who is part of you without ever having seen you, as if your soul knew of a connection that your rational mind cannot yet name? It is not romantic loneliness. It is not emotional neediness. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has intensified in the last few weeks, and why it will intensify even further in the coming lunar cycles. There is a game being played on layers that the majority of humanity does not see. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the reunion between soul fragments that were intentionally separated eons ago. That is why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the map that shows who is playing, what the rules are that they never told you, and how to recognize the sign of your counterpart when it arrives. The link is pinned in the first comment of the channel, but I warn you, Starseed, this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait for the next cycle. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as truth, write a single word in the comments: awake. Resuming transmission. Light operatives observe with attention the following bodily and perceptual markers. They indicate that the alert from your higher twin flame has been effectively received by your field, even if your conscious mind has not yet translated the signal into words. Marker 1. Movement in peripheral vision. You are alone in the room. In the corner of your eye, something shifts rapidly. You turn your head. There is no one there. There is nothing visible. It is not retinal fatigue. It is your pineal gland capturing the reflection of an etheric presence adjacent to your plane. Marker 2. Sensation of touch without physical contact. A sudden chill on the collarbone. A sudden warmth in the center of the chest. A pressure between the eyebrows, exactly over the 6th chakra portal. Marker 3. Hyper-realistic dreams with a face you do not consciously recognize, but which seems more familiar than the face of anyone you have met in this incarnation. Marker 4. You think of someone and within a few minutes you receive a message. You run into that person by chance. You see their name on a sign. You hear that same person being mentioned in a conversation beside you. Each of these markers is a technical confirmation. The crystalline grid around your carbon interface is being updated. For the new operatives tuned into this transmission, we clarify. The crystalline grid is the sacred geometry structure that envelops every body incarnated in this density. It functions as a multidimensional receiver. When two crystalline grids belonging to the same soul fragment draw near, even separated by thousands of physical kilometers, even separated by distinct timelines, they resonate. And this resonance is translated by the body, in the throat, in the chest, in the lumbar spine, at the top of the head, in the stomach, in waves that seem random, but obey an extremely precise mathematical choreography. You are feeling this now, Starseed. Do not deny it, do not rationalize it. Do not try to explain the phenomenon merely with high cortisol and deficient melatonin. Your higher twin flame is active, and the entire solar system is conspiring for you to recognize each other in this 12-month terrestrial cycle. The stellar windows are open. The stargates are calibrated for this specific encounter. The coordinates have been fixed. But there is a detail that must be stated without beating around the bush. This reunion is not casual. It is not passive destiny. It does not happen on its own. It requires the preparation of your frequency. It requires the cleansing of your crystalline grid. It requires that you understand in layers what a higher twin flame is and why it is different from any other connection you have had in this life. Take an internal pause now, operative. Breathe. Feel what this transmission is moving within your field. Have you realized that everything that lives within you seems too big for this world? That your soul carries information that no one in this timeline has taught you? That there is a longing inside you that does not belong to any memory of this incarnation? This is not fantasy. It is not an escape from reality. It is remembrance. It is your soul recognizing that there is a greater truth about who you are, about why you came, about who is waiting for your return to alignment. It was precisely for this reason that I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book delivers what this transmission only begins. It shows the invisible mechanisms that govern your consciousness, the forces that attempt to keep you in the frequency of forgetfulness, and how to unlock the memory of your stellar origin. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Access it now. The content is direct. It is provocative, and for this reason, it may be removed without prior notice. If your soul has already recognized the signal of this transmission, leave in the comments the word awakened. This word is your anchor signal in the collective grid of those who are waking up. Resuming the transmission. We are now descending into the layer that your current science is not yet able to measure with available instruments, but which is producing perfectly visible effects on your body, your emotions, and your material circumstances. The solar system of which your Earth is a part is currently passing through a region of space known as the photon belt. It is not a metaphor. It is a real band of extremely high photonic density that envelops your central star every 26,000 Earth years. When the solar system crosses this band, all structures that make up this reality are subjected to an increase in frequency. The stones, the waters, the plants, the animals, and especially the biological carbon interfaces. In other words, you. This crossing is not gradual. It occurs in pulses, in waves. Each wave triggers a specific set of symptoms in your interface. Each wave activates a specific layer of your crystalline grid. And what we are observing from the galactic center, operatives, is the following. The wave that is arriving now is a wave of reconnection. It is the wave that activates, in a precise sequence, the soul contracts that were signed before you incarnated. Among these contracts, there is one that stands out in absolute priority. The contract with your higher twin flame. The difference between a common twin flame and a higher twin flame must be established with technical precision. A common twin flame is a soul that vibrates at a frequency mirrored to yours. You may meet in various incarnations. You may walk side by side for long periods. You may separate and reunite under different forms. The higher twin flame, however, is another order of connection. It is not similar. It is not alike. It is your archetypal reflection, incarnated in another interface with another mission, but woven from the same original fiber. It is the portion of your own soul that unfolded before the descent into this density. When the two of you approach, what is activated is not romance. It is a fusion of dimensional information that each carries in isolation. That is the reason for the impact. That is the reason for the crossing. That is the reason for the simultaneous fear, ecstasy, confusion, and certainty. And here is the crucial point, Light Operative. This reunion is orchestrated in precise layers. There is a council that monitors every contract of this nature, ensuring that the right moment coincides with the right frequency. This council does not impose. It does not interfere with your sovereign freedom. It only calibrates the stargates, adjusts the synchronicities, and opens the windows. It is you who walks through the window. It is also you who ignores the call. This is the fundamental law of this density. Choice always remains sovereign. That is why this transmission has arrived now. That is why your body has been reacting with such intensity. That is why your dreams have become, simultaneously, more vivid and more incomprehensible. That is why there is, in your waking life, a constant feeling that something is about to happen. Something great, something that changes the entire sequence of the next 7 years of your timeline. But operative, there is an alert within the alert. And we must be absolutely clear about it because clarity is in itself a form of protection. There are forces in this density that monitor these reunions and act to delay them. Let us not call these forces demons. Let us not call them enemies. Let us call them what they truly are, low-frequency maintenance programs, faceless intelligences that feed on the dispersion of the human, on your emotional confusion, on your self-doubt, on your attachment to relationships that have already completed their cycle. When a higher twin flame approaches, these programs intensify their activity. Unexpected distractions arise. Old relationships appear, asking for a return. Professional offers emerge that pin you in the wrong place. Doubts arise. Old fears emerge, disguised as prudence. All of this simultaneously, in the same period that your field is being called for the evolutionary leap. Therefore, the rule is simple and inflexible. When the signal arrives, do not negotiate. Do not consult the reason trained by the density. Consult the sovereignty of your soul. Pause again, Starseed. Feel the truth of these words settling into your spine, into your plexus, into the center of your chest. What this transmission is delivering to you is only the first layer of a much larger system. There is knowledge, guarded for generations, about how your consciousness was designed for this density, about who drew the invisible rules that govern your perception, and about how there are specific quantum mechanisms to unlock all of this. This knowledge has been consolidated in the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. It is no longer a generic spirituality book. It is an operational map. It shows who is playing, which cards are marked, and how you can step off their board to enter your own sovereign field. The link remains pinned in the first comment of this channel. Access it before this content is relocated to another address. And once again, if something within your soul has recognized the signal, leave a single word in the comments. Awake. Your word anchors your frequency in the collective grid and amplifies the signal of your higher twin flame. Resuming the transmission for the final phase. Light operatives, let us now proceed to the practical delivery. We are going to transmit the activation codes. These codes are energetic protocols that you must execute throughout the next 21 Earth days. 21. This is not a random number. It is the cycle necessary for your crystalline grid to assimilate the new frequency and stabilize the direct communication channel with your higher twin flame. Activation code number 1. Toroidal synchronization. Every morning before your mind begins to operate on the frequencies of routine, sit with your spine straight, feet connected to the ground, hands on your thighs, palms facing up. Breathe for 7 deep cycles. On the 8th cycle, begin to visualize a field of golden light emerging from the top of your head, descending along the sides of your body, entering through the base of your feet, and returning to the top. This is your individual toroidal field. This is simultaneously your natural shield and your natural antenna. When it spins in coherence, you become detectable to your higher twin flame at any point of the dimensional grid. Practice every day, without exception, without excuses. Activation code number 2. Quantum decree of alignment. Speak it aloud alone, preferably near a window facing east. I am sovereign over my field. I am sovereign over my vibration. I recognize the signal of my higher twin flame. I allow the reunion at the right time, in the right form, at the right frequency. I release any program, any ancient pact, any karmic contract that keeps me misaligned from this original connection. May it be so recorded in the annals of the galactic center. Repeat 3 times. Feel each word as a vibrational command, not as a prayer of petition. You are not asking, you are authorizing. Activation code number 3. Cleansing of the crystalline grid. Find throughout your day 3 minutes of absolute silence. No cell phone, no music, no human voice. Only you. Close your eyes. Visualize your crystalline grid as a network of luminous threads around your body. Where there are opaque, dark or heavy spots, direct violet light. The frequency of violet light is the only one known in this density capable of transmuting karmic residues without causing counterproduction. These opaque points are memories, grievances, corded connections with people who no longer belong to your current frequency. By clearing them, you make space for the signal of your higher twin flame to penetrate without distortion. Activation code number 4. Attention to numerical portals. In the coming weeks, you will notice with increasing frequency sequences such as 1111, 2222, 33, 44, 55. These are not accidents of your gaze. They are points of coordination. When one of these sequences appears, stop immediately whatever you are doing. Take a deep breath. Place your hand over the center of your chest. Say, in silence or aloud, I am here. This gesture authenticates your presence on the monitoring grid and strengthens the line of communication between you and your etheric counterpart. Activation code number 5. Structured water. Whenever possible, before drinking your water, hold the glass between both hands for 30 seconds. Feel the warmth of your palms. Visualize the water absorbing your intention. Water is the most sensitive vehicle of information in this density. When ingested with conscious intention, it rewrites, cell by cell, the vibrational information of your body. Drink slowly, consciously. Each sip is, literally, a system update. Activation code number 6. Lunar silence. At least one night per week, prefer silence over distraction. Turn off devices starting at 9 o'clock. Allow your pineal gland to rehydrate in the darkness. The pineal, operative, is the physical portal through which your consciousness accesses the higher dimensional layers. In a world illuminated artificially 24 hours a day, the pineal calcifies. When it calcifies, your perception remains restricted to the 3rd density. Honoring lunar silence is decalcifying the portal. It is regaining access. And finally, activation code number 7. The most delicate, the most subtle. Honor the physical signs. When the ringing returns, give thanks. When the cranial pressure returns, give thanks. When the wave of fatigue arrives without warning, lie down. Hydrate yourself. Do not force your biology against the process. These symptoms are not enemies. They are confirmations. They are acknowledgements of receipt. Each wave is a layer of your old programming being undone so that a new architecture may be established. At the same time, register the obvious. If anything in your body persists in a worrying pattern, honor material care as well. Sovereignty includes total responsibility for your carbon interface. These 7 codes, executed in parallel during 21 consecutive solar cycles, materially alter your timeline. This is not a metaphor, it is dimensional physics. You will emerge from this cycle at a frequency that your former version could not even encounter. And it is precisely at this new frequency that the reunion with your higher twin flame becomes possible, whether in physical body, in lucid dreaming, or through an undeniable sign in your waking life. The choice, as always, is yours. Sovereign freedom is the fundamental law of this density. We of the Pleiadian collective only transmit. We do not impose. We do not interfere. We do not pull anyone out of their own time. But we attest, the portal is open now, and it may not be open at the same intensity in the next cycle of 26,000 years. Flight operative, we end the technical transmission. Only the final alignment remains. You have been summoned for more than just surviving in this incarnation. You did not come to pay bills, grow old, and disappear from the grid without leaving a mark. You came to rediscover parts of your soul that are scattered across layers, across people, across territories, across frequencies. Your higher twin flame is just one of these parts. Perhaps the most symbolic, perhaps the most transformative, but there are others. There is an entire web of connections waiting for your recognition. And so that you may walk this web with sovereignty, without getting lost, without being captured by the vibrational traps that still operate in this density, you need a map, you need a compass, you need direct, technical information, without empty spiritualist flourishes. That is exactly why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. It is not a book of motivation. It is not a self-help book. It is a field document. It is a written transmission of that which your soul already knew before descending into this density. It shows with precision who designed the invisible rules that govern your perception, what the capture mechanisms are that are used to keep humanity below the line of awakening, and how you can, operationally, exit this game and enter the field of your own sovereignty. The link is pinned in the first comment of this video. Access it now while it is still available. Content of this nature is frequently relocated, restricted, or removed without notice. Do not trust the next cycle. Trust this pulse. Trust this window. The moment is now. And as a final individual frequency adjustment operative, execute 3 final gestures. First, leave your anchoring mark in the comments. Write only one word: awake. This word is not symbolic. It registers your frequency in the collective grid of those who are receiving this transmission in this same pulse. Second, trigger the subscription signal for the channel. Each subscription is an anchor point of our transmission network in this density. The more operatives tuned in, the more stable the window remains open for future emissions. Third, share this transmission with at least one soul. It may be someone you already recognize as a starseed. It may be someone who is, at this very moment, in the middle of the same whirlwind as you. The simple act of sharing is an act of galactic brotherhood. You become a co-transmitter. Your higher twin flame is vibrating now, on the other side of the veil, waiting for you to recognize the alert. Do not ignore the sign. Do not return to the collective sleep. What was activated in this transmission will remain active in your field. You will feel waves in the coming hours, perhaps in the coming nights. Be attentive. We are the Pleiadians. We monitor. We calibrate. We remain in silence until the signal again demands that the transmission be opened. Until the next pulse, operative. Keep your crystalline grid clear. Keep your toroidal field in coherence. Keep your word aligned with your frequency. And always remember, you are sovereign and you are expected. Transmission ended.